Hello, everybody. I am Maria, and I'm the admin of the Money Making Esthetician Group. And today I'm joined with Jake, our marketing genius. He's so savvy. Thank you so much for joining us. I am pumped because I want everybody to be booked and busy and get to that 100K this year. Somebody said they want to make 150, which she is a smart genius. She could totally get there. But tell us about yourself, Jake, and what are we learning today?
Awesome. So today I'm going to share with you guys the exact system we're using right now to get all of our clients, which are estheticians, booked up for 2025 because, I know the past 1 or 2 years have been kind of crazy with the economy and everything like that. And so we've got a pretty good strategy that we found has worked really good. I'm going to show you guys how to do that. Some of it's going to involve AI, some of it's going to involve ads, and yeah, I've got some slides if it's okay if I pull those up.
Absolutely. You're a host. You're a
Sweet.
host. You should be a host.
Okay,
Let me go
let's
ahead.
see. There we go.
So I did get a question. What would be better, Zoom or Facebook? So I'm monitoring both. So either one.
Okay, perfect. Yeah, and I'm watching, just to be honest, I'm watching the chat on Zoom for the most because I can't really have both pulled up. So if you guys want to hop on the Zoom, that's where I'll see your chat the best.
I'll put the link in the chat for them.
Okay, sweet. Alrighty, can you guys see my screen? The slides?
Yes.
All right, perfect. So today we're going to talk about getting more clients with advertising. So if you guys don't know who I am, I'm the owner of Beauty Biz Pro. I started advertising and marketing in the beauty industry in about 2017. Before that, I was an Air Force pilot. And it's kind of a funny story, but I think it was Thanksgiving lunch. I was sitting there with my aunt in Alabama, and she was a permanent makeup artist. I mean, she still is, and she runs a spa. And she was like, Jake, this was back before social media was big. She was like, Jake, I've tried to share on my Facebook post, or I've shared my Facebook post a few times, and I'm getting some reach here and there, but I'm only booked 1 or 2 days. And so I was like, okay, I've been studying some marketing. I've done a little marketing here and there. Let me help you out. Let me try to run some ads for you. And so, long story short, we did some Facebook and Instagram ads, a little bit on Google, and her bookings just blew up. She's been booked 5 days a week for months out in advance ever since then. And once all the people that because she also rented a few rooms, and once word of mouth got out about that, people were like, Shannon, how are you getting so booked up and stuff? And it just kind of blew up from there. Since then, we've been fortunate enough to work with thousands of beauty professionals. And so I'm going to share with you guys some of the secrets we actually learned doing that, and what's working right now. Because if you guys have not noticed, marketing is always changing. So we're going to help you figure out what's working right now. Let me make sure I'm on Do Not Disturb. Okay, I'm good. So let's get started. Now, so where did I learn all these secrets that I'm about to share with you? Well, for example, or like I said, I've been in the beauty industry quite some time, and I just want to give a shout out to the guy with me in here in the pink jacket on these pictures. This is Tony Cruz. He's my business partner, who you might have seen him on the Facebook group before. I think he's done a webinar with Maria before on here, and he couldn't be here today because he might show up in a little bit, but he couldn't be here right now because he's on some other calls. But yeah, we love what we do. His wife owns an aesthetic studio in Orlando, and that's actually where I met him back in 2018. He hired me to help some with some ads, and then we kind of became best friends since then. But we love what we do. We love helping beauty professionals. But I've also got a book, and I want to give away this book throughout the presentation to some of you because. I wish I could ship it to all of you, but shipping's not free. And so I'll give it away to as many people as possible. And if you stick around to the end, I'll give everybody a digital copy. That way you guys can dive in. We've probably had about 2,000 readers of this book so far. I've gotten tons of feedback, so I'm excited for you guys to be able to read that. But we've had over 3,000 testimonials since 2017, and I'm not saying this to brag. I always tell people I wouldn't take financial advice from a homeless person, and I don't expect you to take marketing advice from someone who's never done it before. I truly believe I have the most marketing data in the beauty industry out of any other marketer there is. So I'm happy to be able to share that with you guys. This is stuff that people have paid me 6,900 for, 8,000 for, 5,500, 3,500. This is stuff that people pay me for. So I'm honored that Maria was nice enough to let me come on here and share it with you guys for completely free. So hopefully you guys listen up. Just like this client who she actually started working with us, I think 2 weeks ago, and she's already gotten 10 facial clients booked. And so that was pretty cool. But I've been, I don't know if, let me know in the chat if any of you guys have been to any of these conferences. There's the Vegas PMU conference, the Skin Games, which is coming up in March. I was at the Black Spa Expo. I've been speakers at a lot of different conferences. And so maybe I've met some of you in person before. Um, but the thing is, I want to set the expectation because I believe what you're going to witness today is the single greatest webinar ever seen on scaling a beauty business. And I know that's kind of hypey, but when it comes to problems with clients and growth, I think I've thought about your problems probably more than you've thought about it because I know you guys as business owners, you have, and by the way, I own a beauty studio myself, so I know what you're going through, but you have a lot of hats to wear. But when it comes to marketing, I'm pretty sure I've thought about stuff more than you, and so that's why I'm here to, let how to succeed basically. And so here are the problems I think that you have. You think your money is limited. You lack confidence in your skills and abilities. You're scared to get out of your comfort zone. Plus, if I had to guess, you're overwhelmed by bright, shiny objects, new treatments, new machines, new products. It's just kind of overwhelming. If anyone agrees, type in the chat. You let
Yes.
little things get in the way of actually making decisions. You don't have enough support from others. Maybe your friends or family don't understand what it's like to be an entrepreneur. Most beauty coaches who pretend to have the solution actually don't have the solution to your problem. Every marketer is offering you crazy guarantees. You face confusion and conflicting information on a daily basis. And what's worse, I'm nervous you're going to discount what I'm going to say today. I'm afraid you guys aren't going to take me serious because the biggest problem with the system I'm going to show you is that most people maybe have tried one or two steps, but they've only done a fraction. The key to a system is you have to do the whole system. It's just like a car. If you try to drive a car that doesn't have wheels, it's not going to go. That's why I'm worried that you're going to blow off what I'm about to share today. So maybe you think your current marketing process is okay. You're okay with the bookings you have, maybe you think what I'm showing you today is going to be cool, but not game changing. So you might have think you've tried this before, but I guarantee you haven't because I'm going to address these issues up front and show you the proven systems so that way you can clearly see. Now, if you're one of those people who's like, well, what I'm doing is already working, my way works, this might not be the room for you. This is more room for people who are ready to learn. Hopefully, you guys are ready to learn. If you wouldn't be here if you weren't. But hopefully, you're thinking maybe if I follow this blueprint Jake's about to show me, I can get these results. Maybe it's worth seeing these systems. Who cares if I get all these beauty, pros booked up? Who cares if I have thousands of testimonials just like these, just like Lisa, who did 200K last year after in 2023, when I met her at Vegas PMU conference, she was completely broke. She literally told me, Jake, I can either eat or I can sign up with you. I said, fasting is good for you. And then she made 200K last year. Now, all I ask you today is just be open-minded because these are going to be some new things you've probably never heard. And so all I ask is that fair for you guys to be open-minded? Type a yes in the chat if you're willing to at least listen. So, okay. So that sounds fair. Now let's go. I've got 60 minutes to provide as much value as I possibly can to you guys. And so I'm gonna go through this fast and furious because I want to provide the most value, and then you can watch the replay if you miss something. So here's the good news. By the end of this training, you're going to have the exact systems my clients use, a clear marketing strategy that works, and a clear vision for your future if you want to be successful. This is not for people who don't want to be successful. So, what I need from you, take action. Nothing keeps me up more at night than to give you guys solutions, give you guys the answer to your problems, only to see you not taking action. I can't fathom how many people I've talked to over the past 8 years who are like, yeah, Jake, I'm going to grow. But then they think about it and, oh, let me talk to my spouse. Let me think about it. Let me check my finances. Let me do this. Let me do that. And before you know it, I'm seeing them a year later and they're in a worse position than they were originally. And so if you guys see something you like today, take action. Like, I'm not saying you have to work with me, but I'm going to give you the exact tactics to do. I just don't want you guys to stay the same. That's if you've been in business for a while, you know that you're either growing or you're dying. And so I want to see you guys growing. Now, stick around to the end. I'm going to give you guys all access to my beauty growth community. This is a group outside. It's not on Facebook. This is a school community where we're literally going to have, or we already have, Tons of courses. We have my books on there. We have a lot of resources, and our goal over the next 90 days is to make this the most valuable resource. Besides the Money Making Esthetician, it's an amazing Facebook group, but this is going to be off Facebook. And so I'm going to give you guys access to this at the end of the call. So my focus today, showing you how to make more money while you're working less. Because anybody can get up here and say, and I've been guilty of this myself, anybody can get up here and say, yeah, work harder, just hustle, just work harder. But especially if you have a life, if you if you don't just want to work 24/7, maybe you have kids, there's only so much we can work hard, right? There's only so many hours in the day. And so at some point you've got to start working smarter. It's just like Tony Robbins says, you maybe you want to see a sunset, and if your goal is to see a sunset and you're running as fast as you can east, no matter how optimistic you are, no matter how much manifestation you have, you're never going to see a sunset in the east. And so we're going to give you the right strategies today too. Now, two things are very crystal clear. Most beauty professionals are leaving serious money on the table, and the old ways of running a beauty business don't work anymore. So after working with 3,000 of you, it's not about talent. And I hear that a lot. Oh, if you just perfect your craft, if you just get really good at what you do, you'll get booked up. Not true. It's good to be proud of what you do. It's good to be skilled, but that's not everything there is. Marketing is much more. Now, I'm going to talk about the 80/20 rule first because this is what we live and die by in our company because I see this in every market. 80% of the business owners or 80% of the sorry, excuse me, 20% of the business owners run 80% of the market. So think about your town. I'm sure there's one or two, three people that do most of the business there. Am I correct? Those are the part of the 20%. And so if you're here watching this, hopefully you can become part of the 20% if you're not already. But, and I'll be honest with you guys, I've never taught this slide before, but I saw this yesterday on a YouTube video I was watching, and I was like, wow, this makes so much sense because the whole premise behind this was high vibration versus low vibration. These are states of mind. And so if you're in a high vibration state, maybe you're passionate, you're enthusiastic, you're happy, you're eager, you're ready to believe in something, you're positive. Whereas we've all been there in the downward spiral of low vibration where it's like everything's frustrating, you're just insecure, other people are doing better than you, you're pessimistic, you just have a lot of doubt, you're mad at everything, you feel powerless. Has anyone been in a bad state like this? I'm sure all of us have. So the key here is when you catch yourself in a low vibration state, try to don't stay in it. Try to get out of it as quick as possible and go to a high vibration state. You want to stay optimistic, enthusiastic. The left side is where you want to be. And so I ask you today in this presentation, if you're feeling down, if you're feeling overwhelmed, if you're feeling, any of these things on the right, get rid of that, snap out of it, and let's get in a high vibration state. Does that sound good? All right, so let's go over the 80/20 rule. So when we say the 20%, these are the most successful people, the top 20% in the beauty industry. What do? They focus on perfecting, or sorry, let me go back. What are people, and disregard this as you, that's kind of a typo because I don't know if what you guys are doing or not. But the typical person that's in the 80%, the people who are not having a lot of success, they're just focusing on perfecting their craft. And like I said, it's okay to be good at what you do and be proud of what you do. I'm not saying you should have a crappy service, but if you want to get really good at marketing, you got to focus on building an email list and a phone list first. Why? Because a customer list is everything. It's the heart of a business. Instead of worrying about investing in the most expensive products. Now, I'm not talking about buying low quality products. Yes, I believe in quality as a beauty professional myself, but who here has seen like, oh, this, like, it seems like these days everybody's coming out with the newest and greatest premium product. Everybody's coming out with the newest trend, the newest fad, the newest service. It's easy to get distracted. Instead, focus on getting a good location. Post instead of posting daily on social media, which I'm not against social media. I post every day on Facebook, but that's not my main marketing strategy. If you just post every day, it's not going to do that much these days. You have to run ads. Try new trending services. Everybody wants the newest and greatest service. Forget about that. Strategically plan your inventory instead. And then instead of word of mouth marketing, trust me, I love word of mouth. I love referrals just as much as the next person. But I hate when we see on these Facebook groups where it's like, yeah, you should just rely on word of mouth. You shouldn't do ads. You shouldn't do marketing. Like, oh, really? So if a person has zero clients or very few clients, they're just going to rely on word of mouth. How does that work exactly? Please explain. And even if you do get some word of mouth, is that consistent? I think type a one in the chat if you want consistent revenue, type a two in the chat if you want inconsistent revenue. So, do you like being booked up for a few weeks, and then all of a sudden you're dead for a couple weeks? Is that what you like? No, you want to be consistent. And we got to build systems because if you don't have a good system in place, you'll never be able to scale. I see it all the time. The people who are good at what they do, they have hustle and they're successful, but then they're only successful to a certain point because they didn't build a system. They don't have a system in place to back them up. And so now once they get busy with clients, they fall apart basically because they can't do the things that they were doing before they were booked up. So let me show you exactly how this works. For example, this is Marla. She is one of my favorite stories. Like I actually had lunch with her last month in Dallas. Um, she is a permanent makeup artist. She does a bunch of other stuff now. She's an esthetician as well. But long story short, she lost her Facebook. She got hacked. She completely lost her profile. And funny enough, or not funny enough, it's actually kind of sad. Another client also lost their Facebook about the same time. The difference was Marla is doing better than ever now. The other person actually went out of business. What was the difference? Marla had already gotten on our system. She had a CRM in place, which I'll explain what that is in a minute. And she had a customer list. So she had people's phone numbers, she had people's emails. And I'm not just talking about customers, I'm talking about potential customers as well. Because I mean, I'm sure all of you have a customer list on Vagaro or Acuity or Gloss Genius, whatever. But do you have your information of potential clients? That's the question. And so Marla did. And so she, even though she got hacked, she was able to build up stronger than ever. Um, and to me, that's a true testament. And going back to this, what just happened recently? The TikTok ban. A lot of you probably still can't get on TikTok. I saw Maria said she deleted the app on her phone, so she couldn't get on TikTok. Maria, did you ever get that app?
No, and I'm very hurt.
Oh. So, yeah, I mean, you can lose social media at any time. So, I'm not saying don't use social media. I'm just saying we should all view social media as a tool. But if we rely too much on it and we get hacked or it gets deleted or gets banned, now we're screwed. And so, don't put all your eggs in one basket. Now, let me show you the three-step blueprint on actually how to get booked up. Number one is all about the customer list. And so, like I said, social media is great, but it can get taken away at any time. It can, like the way Instagram was like amazing, you could get so many followers and attention 3 years ago or 4 years ago. It doesn't work like that anymore. And so social media ebbs and flows. So use it while you can. And I'm going to show you some cool tactics on how to use it, but don't have all your information on there. For example, if you have all your conversations on Instagram and your Instagram gets hacked, you just lost access to all your potential clients. What's going to happen to your business? And so I'm going to show you how to have using a customer list is basically an insurance policy for your business. That way, if your Instagram gets hacked, your Facebook gets hacked, or you lose it, which has happened to me before. I lost my Facebook for 6 months and it was simply a glitch. It was like I contacted Facebook support, they couldn't even help me. And then finally it came back. Um, but the first thing you need in a system is something that runs without you, because if you're having to manually do everything, it's eventually going to fall apart because it's relying on you, and you're going to get busy if you're doing these things with marketing. So, why should every business have a customer relationship management platform, a CRM? Something like this. This is ours. And disclaimer, I mean, this is our product, so I'm not trying to push it necessarily. I'm just giving you an example. You're welcome to look up and use whatever CRM you want. This is the one I actually use for my own all my businesses. Um, but things I look for is a all-in-one inbox. And so I'll kind of explain to you guys what I'm talking about for a second. So who here, spends a lot of time going to Facebook and checking your messages, then going to Instagram and checking your messages, checking your email, checking your text. Before you know it, you've spent what, 3 or 4 hours a day just checking everything, make sure you're replying to leads, make sure you're replying to clients, and it's just all over the place. Um, this just having an inbox all in one has changed my life because now instead of being on my phone for 4 hours a day doing all those things, I can knock it down to maybe 30 minutes. And so that extra three and a half, what would an extra 3.5 hours a day do for you? Like the quality of your life, the amount of money you can make. Like, what would that do for you? And so that one feature alone, having all your inbox in one place on an easy to use app on your phone, game changing. And so, what else do I like about a CRM? Well, um, I can do what's called repeat customers. And I know you guys already know what repeat customers is. I'm just kind of emphasizing it. So if you're struggling right now, it's probably because you're not getting enough repeat customers. What do I mean by that? Well, new customers are great, of course, but it costs more money to get a new customer than it does to charge the same customer twice. Once you get somebody to pull out a credit card once, it is much easier to get them to book with you again. Can you give me a water? Thanks. So a CRM allows you to build a relationship. And I'm just going to talk face to face with you guys for a second. So, why do we care about relationships? Well, that's what business is founded on. And so, we're not, building relationships and nurturing those relationships is what's going to lead to a long-term business success. And so, if you don't have some kind of system in place where you can text your clients, where you can email them, where you can send them updates or reminders, and I'm not just talking about people who book with you, but also let's say they book with you. Who here has an automation that 6 weeks later or 2 months later it sends out a text message to them and says, hey, first name, hope you're doing great, just want to see if you're ready for another facial, question mark. Does anyone do that already, where they have an automatic follow-up with current clients? Yeah, I don't see any. I'm not monitoring the Facebook comments, but I don't see anybody on Zoom that does. So yeah, that's something that's super helpful. Like for my permanent makeup clients, they have a thing like Marla that I mentioned. She um she has a thing where after a year, it reminds them that they need a touch up, and it's like, hey, it's time for your touch up. And she's made a lot of money from that one automation itself. Now, email marketing. I'm not going to go into the basics of email marketing and all that. Some of you probably already do it. But I'm going to give you my exact templates because, like I said, I only have an hour, so I want to provide the most value. I'm going to give you some exact templates that's going to help you save cancellations. Oh, look who entered the room. Tony Cruz is here. Um, so this template is game changing. It's a three-part. And by the way, guys, this is stuff that people normally pay me for. I just wanted to be generous today, so I hope you appreciate it. So if you get a cancellation, this is what you're going to do. You're going to have an email that says this exact wording. Subject, this is the subject line of the email. Just opened facial spot for today, or waxing spot today, or whatever you want to put in there. Hi, first name. A 2 p.m. appointment just opened up for facials today. Book now at this link, only replying to the first confirmed booking and then your name. And so basically, that's the first email you're going to send to let them know that you've had a last minute cancellation to try to fill that spot. Now, email number two, 2 hours later, if you haven't filled the spot yet, special offer for today's opening. And by the way, guys, these can also be text message templates. This doesn't have to be like you could either use this exact like I'd probably simplify it to like 2 lines, 2 or 3 lines, and this could be a text message as well. So, hey, first name, our 2 p.m. slot still available. Book now and get blank incentive. So you can give them some kind of incentive, maybe like a free LED mask or LED therapy or whatever little things you have to add on, or even a free gift card. Like, hey, come in for you get a bonus $25 gift card. Um, Now, if that doesn't work, then here's the last call. Final chance to grab today's blank slot for this with a special offer, one-click booking blank. So you're just following up. Who here thinks, and most people honestly don't get to email number three. Most people get booked up and filled on email number one. And so who here would love to have all their cancellations filled immediately so that way you never have an open spot? Does that sound great? Yes, that's exactly what we want you guys to get to. And so you have to have systems for this. So here's some other examples. After you perform the service on them, you can make sure you always collect their phone and email. I'm sure you guys are already doing that, hopefully. And then send them an immediate either email or text. I think text is a little bit better. Review request. So say something like, and don't just say, "Hey, will you please leave me a review?" I mean, that's probably better than what most of you are already doing. So at least you're asking for the review. But I would take it a little step further. We work with a seven-figure med spa owner who she actually gave me this tip. Um, but she asked her clients, and she has tons of amazing Google reviews, and that's how she ranks number one. But she asked her clients, she says, "Will you please leave a detailed uh, would you please leave detailed feedback of what your session was like so that somebody else who's looking into the service could get a good idea of what to expect?" And so this way, people leave like 1 or 2 paragraph reviews, which ranks higher in Google for that. So that's a good way to ask. Offer VIP list signups. And so the good thing about having a VIP list is you can kind of say like, hey, if I ever have any promos or availability or things like that, I'm going to hit my VIP list, and that's who you're going to hit with those emails. And I'm not going to get too much into lead magnets, but basically, here's a tip that I think you guys have probably never heard. So Use ChatGPT. Does everybody familiar with ChatGPT? I mean, I know I love ChatGPT. Use ChatGPT and say, "Hey, I am an esthetician, or whatever you do. I'm an esthetician, and I would like you to write me a PDF guide on the best skincare tips for middle-aged women, or the best skincare tips for whatever. And this is my name. This is my beauty business name. Please write it." It's going to write you a PDF or it's going to write you a nice little article. You're going to copy that into a Google Doc, and then you just download it as a PDF. So now you have a cool PDF, which what does that do for your authority? That makes you look like the authority. So who would I pick? Like, let's say that I'm looking between you and your competitor. Who am I going to pick? The person who has their own PDF guide on skincare, or the person who's just like, come to my services for a discount of $99? Like, obviously, I want to pick the expert. I'm going to go with the expert. And so I'm trying to show you guys how to become the authority in your area so that you become the 20%, 80/20 rule. Now, Cindy Archer is one of my favorite clients ever. Well, I should be like a parent. I don't have favorites, but she's been working for me since 2018 now. Um, and I'll be honest, like the reason I love her story is because she actually struggled at first. It wasn't like oh, we started running ads for her and she was instantly booked up. It didn't work like that. In fact, she struggled off and on for 2 years, but she stuck with it. And she stayed with it and she kept pushing forward. She kept following what we were teaching. And I was actually at the Vegas PMU conference last year in October, and I talked to her in person, and I didn't realize how good she was doing, but she's like, "Yeah, Jake, I'm on track to do $350,000 this year." And I was like, holy crap, like that's awesome. Because I remember when she was struggling. And so the fact that she's doing that and she upgraded to a larger location, it's just an absolute inspiration. But yeah, I love success stories like that. Now, what can you do with the automated booking system? You can do things like, if a client takes an action. Tony, what's a good example of this client action automated response?
Yeah, so client taking action. So that's client giving you like, hey, I'm interested in your service. Hey, I'm interested in having um, XYZ done. That's client taking action, but that action that client's taking is going to create an automation if you have the right systems set up in your business to where, just like for me, when someone reaches out on my website or they reach out on text message or email, I have an automation for every way somebody can communicate with me. And my first response is, thank you so much for inquiring. Have you been looking into blank service? I don't go directly and say, hey, here's my booking link. Please book with me. Like you'll never book anybody that way.
Yeah, and if you guys don't remember, Tony's my business partner who he helps all of our clients. He trains them on sales, and he runs his wife's aesthetic studio in Orlando, and so he's a great asset on our team, and he always helps me with webinars. So I'm bringing him on now. So all right, now new inquiries, and so if you have a new customer or like a new lead, you can talk with them about the pricing, but I'm going to show you guys a better automated way to do this with AI. So we'll just kind of skip over that for now. And then you can also send your prep instructions. And so if there's something you guys are having to manually do, like send emails or send text message, why not automate it to save you time? Why do you want to rely on yourself to sit there and go through and like, oh, I got to send this client this and I got to send them the prep instructions. Let's just automate that stuff if you're not already. Before the appointment, reminders. Tony, should we share with them? This is kind of premium knowledge, but should we share with them how you prevent pretty much how you got rid of most of your no-shows?
Yes. Well, first I like to talk about why people no-show you, why people cancel you. A lot of you are softies in the sense that, and I don't mean that in a negative way, but like when someone says, "Oh, my child's sick," "Oh, this or that happens," it's like, "Okay, no problem. I understand. I'll reschedule you." That kind of a thing. Where I like to get and the reason why they do that, and they make a million excuses in the world, but the reason why they do that is because they don't see the value in your service. Even if they put a 40, 50, $100 deposit down, they don't see a value in the service as to why they need to get it that day. So if something else pops up in their day that they'd rather go do, they're just going to go do that, right? So for me, what we do is the day before or the day of, depending on the time of their appointment coming up, I like to text them and just say, hey, I'm super excited about your upcoming service. For me to get better prepared, do you prefer sparkling or still water during your service?
That's good.
Now, how does that position you in that client's mind. How? That
Top
Luxury.
tier. I was like, oh, I'm doing that today.
Yeah, like that positions you like, oh wow, where am I going? I have to go do this, right? So that's the kind of effect you want. For a lot of you, and I don't say this negatively because we used to do it for years, right? A lot of you think of it as, oh, they want a book, let me book them in the service, bing bang boom, order take, and they're done. But how you are able to charge more in the industry and grow in a down economy is by providing more value, more perceived value, I should say, more perceived value, and showing the fact that, hey, um, I am actually excited. I'm actually getting prepared for your service right now. You better freaking show up, right?
Yeah.
Uh, and then I'll tell you, when we started implementing that, our cancellations almost became non-existent because people were just freaking excited to come in and see us. And by the way, our studio is a 10 by 12 studio. It's not nothing bougie or glamorous or anything like that. It's my wife's a solo, so.
It's crazy what a little $1 bottle of sparkling water can do. Because I was shopping in a mall in Denver last year, and they gave me a bottle of sparkling water, and I ended up spending $300, even though I didn't really want the stuff. I just did it to be nice because it was the law of reciprocity.
Yeah, well, that's what Gucci, Louis Vuitton, and that's where I got the idea. Like Gucci, Louis Vuitton, you go to those stores, and if as long as they're not like super packed busy, they're gonna come out to you with their little gold tray or silver tray and say, "Would you like some Evian or not Evian or San Pellegrino?"
Yeah.
And yeah, I just yeah, that. Those are the type of tactics that really sell. So.
Yep. Awesome. And then, 30 days effort, like I mentioned earlier, you can do a miss you offer, how you doing, or just wanted to check in, like just little things like that. Even if something's simple, it just prompts the people like, wow, this business is actually checking on me, because so many people are lazy and so many business owners are too lazy to do this kind of stuff, that if you can just do the simple things like this, you're going to stand out. It's really not that hard to stand out. You just got to be above average, which the average business owner is not that good. So it's not that hard. Um, Text
Well,
marketing.
Jake, real quick on that last one, the 30-day follow-up. I always say, hey, it's Tony from Onyx Browse. Just wanted to check in with you. Didn't want you to think I forgot about you. It's been about a month. How's everything going? Be a friend.
Yep, for sure.
So,
All right, so text message marketing. This is my favorite way. Like, I've made so much money from text marketing the past year, just because it's the best way to get in front of people. Like, they say that about 10 to 20% of your emails get read, and about 80 to 90% of your text messages get read. So, which one do you think is more impactful, the 80 to 90%? So, I love text messaging. Here's an exact template you guys can copy from us. And so, this is goes back to the cancellation thing. Like, hey, first name, we had a last minute opening for facials tomorrow at 9 a.m. Or as a VIP client, you get first access before we open this slot to our wait list. So basically, what you're doing is you're creating scarcity there, and exclusivity. And then once you grab it, reply yes, and it's yours, expires in 30 minutes. So you're putting a little urgency in there as well. And so this one text message can easily fill a spot for you, if you send it to your VIP list. Now, now that your systems are set, here's how to fill them. Number two, attention. So now that you kind of got an idea of like, okay, I need some systems in place. I need to set up some automations. I need to get a CRM, and I can show you guys the exact CRM we offer later on. But now you got to get attention, because you could have the best machine, the best uh, spa, the best everything, but if you don't have attention in your business, you're basically like a Louis Vuitton store in the desert. So nobody's seeing you. You're just out in the middle of the desert. So let's get you guys some attention. Now, attention is going to be the biggest key in marketing. And frankly, organic reach is not enough. So, what do I mean by organic? It means you're not paying for ads. It means you're just posting on social media and hoping. I call it the post and hope method. You're hoping that you get a lot of likes. You're hoping that people see it. But let's be honest, you're probably not. Like, if you're struggling to get bookings right now, it's because you're not getting in front of enough people. It's not about your machine. It's not about your technique. It's you're not getting in front of enough people. And so you have to have ads. Now, a lot of you are thinking like, well, I'm scared to pay for ads. You don't have to pay a lot of money. It doesn't take a large budget. You can literally start at $5 a day. Even our clients that pay us to manage ads, most of them just do $10 a day in ads. And so they're getting those kind of results usually with $10 a day. And what does that come out to? 300 bucks a month. So when you guys, here's a good question. I've actually never covered this before. How much, and I want to see in the chat, how much, let's say that you charge $200 for facials. How much would you pay to acquire that facial client if you charge $200? Think about your expenses, think about all that stuff. How much would you pay in ads to acquire a $200 customer?
I'll
All
tell
right.
you,
What?
I'd pay $200.
Okay. Well, and I'm not going to give you guys the right or wrong answer or I'm not going to give you guys exactly how much I would pay for that, but because it's kind of pointless anyways but what I'm going to tell you is how I would think about it. So the way I would think about it is not, okay, well, I spend $100 in ads and I charge $200, so minus my expenses of, $50, I'm making $50 profit. That's not how I think about it. I think of it as I'm going to get somebody in the door, I'm going to treat them amazing. Maybe I'm going to upsell them multiple other services. Maybe they're going to turn into a repeat customer, and then they're going to give me referrals because I'm going to do a referral program with them. And so lifetime value of that client could be $2,000, or the value of that client could actually be way higher than what you're thinking. And so many of you are just thinking like, oh, I only charge 150 bucks and so I can't spend much on ads. Well, what's the lifetime value of your client? Start thinking about that. How much can you make from a client over the next 2 years? And if they come in every month or every 2 months, you can quickly do the math and see like, oh, I can actually afford to acquire that customer and then turn them into a repeat customer. So how do you capture attention without getting overwhelmed? Because let's be honest, like posting on Instagram every day, posting on TikTok, making videos, doing all this stuff can get overwhelming very quick. Like I have a full-time person right next to me that does all that stuff, and it can still be overwhelming with somebody helping me. And so how do you capture attention and get in front of enough people without getting overwhelmed? Well, the key is ads. And so I'm going to teach you guys what ads we like to do the best. First off is Facebook and Instagram ads. If you had to start anywhere, I would start here. I do love Google as well, and I'm going to explain that in a bit. But Facebook and Instagram ads to me are the best bang for your buck because, like I said, you can start for as low as $5 or $10 a day, and you can still reach thousands of people in your local area. Now, I know some of you probably try to run ads, and your ads went to like Zimbabwe or some other state. That's because you're trying to run your own ads, which I do not recommend. But if I had to say anything, it would be do not boost a post. And I'll explain that in a minute. But I want to go over this testimonial. We actually got this, a few weeks ago, Tony?
Yep.
I don't know, I'll let you tell her story.
So she was a struggling artist or esthetician. She was just starting out, and she didn't have a lot of money, but she knew she had to get in front of the right people. And you could just don't take her word for it, read it. She dove right into our system, but not only that, she took advantage of our coaching calls and our training and our scripts. So the reason why I came to Jake and Beauty Biz Pro and got in the beauty industry is people were always talking about how to convert leads, how to divert from the pricing question and things like that. No one was ever talking about how to build a relationship in your studio. And that's what I really try to instill in people is stop trying to divert from the price question. Let's face it. If someone can't afford it, they can't afford it. But I guarantee you everybody on this call, okay, everybody here, if I told you I can get you a Lamborghini for $50,000 today, I need a deposit by the end of the day. I guarantee you I'm going to have 12 people give me a deposit for a Lamborghini by the end of the day, right? Why? Because you see the perceived value. So it's all about making sure you understand your client and their needs and wants versus what you're trying to push and sell them, right? And that's what, Yvette really took to heart was she dove into figuring out her clients and the mindset of her clients and figuring out how she could help them versus sell them. And that's what we need to start focusing on is helping people versus selling people.
Yeah,
So
and you guys will quickly figure out we don't just post testimonials just to post them. We have a story and a meaning behind each testimonial because it's like we've seen people that go from, and that's my favorite testimony is the people who struggled or were broke at first, and then they became successful. Because to me, that's the hero's journey. Like if I were to sit here and say like, oh yeah, we clicked a button and somebody instantly got booked up. That's one, that's not realistic, and two, it just that like anything in life comes at a heart, like at a price. Nothing in life that's easy is worth it. And so always remember that if you're looking just for the easy way. Now, I'm not saying that you shouldn't do ads because ads is a lot easier than sitting there and posting every day, but it comes at a price. And even if that price is only $10 a day. So, what are our favorite campaign types? Honestly, I like messenger ads the best. Why? Because, like we said, building a business is all about building relationships. And you can't build a relationship with somebody if you just send them a booking link, or you can't build a relationship with somebody if you just send them to your website. Now, those are all ways that you could do it if you had an optimized website or if you had certain things. But overall, I find Messenger just works better because now I can actually have a conversation with somebody. And then, like Tony said, I'm not just pushing a service on somebody. It's just like when you go to the doctor. Hopefully, when you walk into the doctor's office, they don't just say, like, hey, here's the latest and greatest medicine. Here you go. No, they sit you down. They ask you what your symptoms are. They make sure you qualify for the medication and they find which medication is right for you. Same thing with you guys. You should be prescribing the best service. You shouldn't just be taking every client without asking any questions. That's not even ethical. And so I do like messenger ads for that the best. Boosting. I've taught don't boost for a while. And so the other, like actually 2 weeks ago, I was like, Tony, I'm going to boost a post just to try it out. And so first I tried on my phone and I realized there was a 30% Apple surcharge. So I was going to run $100 in ads and they were going to charge me a $30 fee on top of that. That literally helped me none. It just went straight to Apple. And so I was like, screw that. I'm going to get on my computer. So I got on my computer and I did a boost post. And even though I know who I normally target and I know like what options I normally pick, they weren't all available on boosting, but I did my best. And literally, I was getting people from like not even in the same country as me on my post. And so I still think that boosting is terrible. And I've proven that to myself 2 weeks ago. Ads manager, it's where it's at. Now, we've already talked about budget. You don't need a huge budget. Now, if you're thinking, well, Jake, how much should I spend on ads? What result do you want? Because for $10 a day, you're not going to get 100 bookings. Like you have to start small and then scale. And so that's my biggest advice. Just write this down. Just start somewhere. Take imperfect action. Just start at $5 a day. And as you start to get some momentum, you start to get some leads, some bookings here and there, start to scale it up. Maybe try $10 a day. Then you start to get more bookings, try $15 a day, and just keep scaling it up. That way you're always making more than you're spending, but you're also, not starting at a super scary number. Like $5 a day is like cheaper than Starbucks. All right. Vianney, I love this one because she said I took one of your courses and started at $5 per day, just like I said, and I made about 3,000 more last month. So she literally spent $5 a day, which is about 150 bucks in a month, and she made $3,000 more in a month. Is that a good ROI? Do you guys think that's a good trade? $5 a day for $3,000? I think that's pretty good.
that's a pretty good trade.
All right. So do you want to know how to find the people looking for your services? That's going to be Google Ads. So you're like, okay, Jake, why don't you start with Facebook ads then? Because Facebook ads I can get in front of thousands of people. Google ads are going to be a little bit more pricey to reach people. Now, the good thing about Google ads, it is people searching for your service. The bad thing is a lot of times you need certain assets like a website or a landing page or things like that. So that's why I typically recommend starting with social media ads and getting those connections first. So here's an example of a search ad, which is probably my favorite. Um, now let's say I type in esthetician in Miami. You're going to see this little thing that pops up that says ads. Now, as a business owner, you might be like, well, Jake, I already know what an ad is. You would be surprised about how many consumers and even business owners that I know do not realize that this is an ad. They're just like, oh, it popped up first on Google, click. And that's why Google ads are so effective. I built a $10 million plus company in a different industry, and that was our strategy. We ranked organically number one on Google, but then we also ran Google ads. And so when you search for anything related to us, we were showing up like multiple times before you even got to our competitors. And so it was a pretty cool strategy. But this is what a Google ad looks like. Um, Tony, do you want to explain local ads?
Yeah, local ads are kind of something that hasn't been talked about, and I think Google may or may not be doing away with them here soon. But what Google local ads are it's a ad that requires you, the professional, to get verified by Google. So what that looks like is you may have to send Google your aesthetics license or your business license, certain things like that. And Google, when you pay them, is actually going to say, this is a Google verified service. So that's how you become a Google verified service is by running Google local ads. That's also just built-in reputation management for you to say, hey, I'm verified by Google. So it really helps when you're trying to overcome your competitors that may have 20, 30, 40 reviews. Well, they don't have the verification like you have. So
Yeah, I don't know if you guys realize it, but with Google Ads, you can actually show up on Google Maps. And so I know a lot of times when I'm searching for like, let me get a quick facial or a quick massage, I'm just looking on Google Maps. And so Google Ads can show up there as well. Now, call ads are also pretty good. Now, I say it depends because if you like getting called, it's great. If you don't like getting called, you might not want to run call ads. But this is basically where you're pushing people to call you, of course. Anything to add to that, Tony? I think it's self-explanatory. Why do you like call ads?
I love call ads because I want my phone to ring.
Yeah.
That's simple. I love call ads because I want my phone to ring.
Yeah, and we've had a lot of clients who weren't comfortable with this at first because they're like, well, I don't know what to say. I don't know how to sell. And then with our weekly coaching that we do, we literally train people how to take phone calls and how to sell on the phone, within in less than an hour. They're basically become experts at it. And so then they're like, okay, give me more calls. But I'm going to show you guys something really cool. And this is going to take a little participation from you. So, how many people are searching for your service? Let's figure this out. So, I'm going to go to the Google Keyword Planner, and I'm going to show you guys some pretty cool stuff. Tony, can you see my screen, the planner?
I sure can.
Okay, cool. So, somebody give me a service in a city that they want to do, and they're going to. So, what city are you located in, and what is your main service? All right, I see. See,
Redlands, California,
all right,
facials.
so facials, Redlands, California, and then remove United States. All right, so there's your Redlands, California. You could even expand this a little bit if you wanted to, but I'll just keep it small. I don't know. Maria, are you familiar with this area?
Somewhat, yeah.
Would you also target San Bernardino or not?
No.
Okay. And then I'm gonna get results. So let's see how many people. This is gonna show me
All right,
how
Misty,
many.
you're welcome to turn your mic on as well.
This is going to show me how many monthly searches you're getting in the area. Now, whenever I do this with facials, I'll notice that typically facials has usually a good amount of searches. So you've got 30% potential clients searching for facials in your area every single month. However, the keyword that I'm really looking at is facials near me. If someone's typing facials near me, do you think they're ready to buy? They're ready to book? I would say so. And so I really like the keyword facials near me, and that's 140 people in your area. So every single month, on average, you've got 140 potential clients that you're not getting in front of if you're not running Google Ads. It's pretty crazy. And you can see the year over year change since last year. There's been a 22% increase. So more people are searching for facials there than ever. Um, and you can get clicks. So to get in front of somebody, it can be as low as $1.18. Would you pay $1.18 to get in front of somebody ready to book a facial? Pretty crazy, right?
This is amazing. What about
I would 100%.
Yeah.
I don't know how to say this correctly. Senatobia, Mississippi. Jace, do you want to turn your mic on so you could say it?
That one's going to be interesting because it's going to be a smaller town.
That's exactly what I thought.
Yeah, let's see what comes up.
And then Jace asked, is that the price per day?
You can set the budget to whatever you want. So just like Facebook ads, you could set it to like $5 a day. So that means on average you could get 2 or 3 people clicking on you that are looking for your service, or 3 to 5 depending on the day. All right, so yeah, Mississippi. I was actually stationed in Mississippi when I was an Air Force pilot. So let me see. For this one, I would probably go a little bit broader. But let's, because it's only a population of 25,000 people, so that's probably not going to have that much. But even then, you got 10 potential customers every single month looking for facials near me. And then, like I said, on the map, I would probably just expand this even more and hit all the surrounding towns, and you probably get even more than that. Um, let's see. But the good thing about small towns, I will say, is even though you don't have as much people, you can, for a very small budget, you can dominate your area. And so I guarantee you, there's nobody else running. Probably, even if they are running ads, they're probably just boosting it themselves. Or not, they don't have much knowledge, and so even a very small budget there would probably dominate for you. That way, you could be the top every time somebody searches. All right.
Can we try Gulfport, Mississippi? I live in Mississippi, but in the Gulf Coast, so
Okay. Yeah, my
maybe a
wife is
little.
from. Yeah, my wife is from Gulfport,
Aw.
so I'm familiar with the area. Um,
And I'm sure that can include like Biloxi, Ocean Springs, and all that.
right, like Long Beach.
Right.
And then if we included Biloxi, there we go. That's what we're looking for, is the designated marketing area.
Yeah, that's perfect.
So you've got every single month 90 facial searches, but then almost 500 facials near me. So almost 500 potential clients every single month.
I would cry.
And the crazy thing is, this is so cheap. Like, you can literally get in front of those people for as low as 75 cents.
Yes.
That's insane.
Hey, Jake, this is just say I'm so sorry. I'm here with my baby and he's hollering. So
No worries.
excuse me for not speaking earlier.
No worries.
So we're in I was the one that did Senatobia, Mississippi.
Mhm.
My husband, we're in that area right now for my husband's job, but I'm from like South Haven, which is close to Memphis, and it's
Yeah.
a really growing area. So I guess I probably should have more so did like that area. That probably would have
Okay.
been more realistic for where I'm aiming to be.
Okay. Yeah, we can look at that.
Thank you so much.
Sure. Yeah, definitely a lot more people there. So yeah, 90 people a month searching facials near me. And then as low as $1 per click, $1.09.
Oh
So,
wow, that's crazy.
yep. And that's the area it's covering on the map.
I feel like that goes to show you that people are looking.
Are or aren't?
Yeah, it really does.
No, are looking.
Yeah,
Yeah,
What
they
is
are.
North Hollywood, California? I bet you there's like a bajillion. Or even Valley Village.
You said Valleywood Village?
Valley Village,
Mm,
California. No?
I'm not seeing that.
Or North Hollywood is one too.
I might have to just put in Hollywood, and like, there's ways we can narrow it down. There we go. Well, no, is it West Hollywood? Is that good enough, or
No, that's far.
yeah, I don't know why it's not
There's like this hill in LA that there's like one hill and the other hill, and nobody likes to go between hills.
Oh, I see where you're saying Valley Village in North Hollywood.
Hmm.
There's a way. I wish there was a way I could just drop a pin right here. Would it be under Valley Glen or any of that?
Valley Glen works too.
That's so weird that it's not showing up.
What about Studio City?
Mm-mm.
Sherman Oaks? I don't know. Mm-mm.
Well, I don't know. I'll figure it out for you and show you later on.
No,
Yeah, because sometimes it doesn't catch the little bitty sub areas. I
it
mean,
is.
it might
It's
do
like
Burbank. Yeah, there you go.
it is very tiny.
So in Burbank, I mean, you've got 210 people every month.
That's fantastic. What was fascinating to me too is those smaller towns.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Well, cool. Yeah, that's always a fun exercise that gets everybody going. But
Oh hell
now
yeah!
you guys have seen, like, there are, every time I pull that up, it makes people realize, oh, there's a lot of people searching for my service. I just need to get in front of them. Because
Jake's asked, where do you get access to this on Google?
it's just called if you just search Google Keyword Planner, I can type it in the chat, Google Keyword Planner. All right, so the common question I get is, should I do Facebook ads or Google ads? And if you had to start on a very limited budget, I'd probably push you to Facebook and Instagram ads because it's the same platform, Facebook and Instagram, it's under Meta. But if you had a little bit like a little bit bigger budget, I would say throw $5 or $10 a day into Google ads. And the reason we want to do that is get in front of those people we just saw are searching in your city, and then even the people who don't book, so let's say someone goes to your website, even if they don't book immediately because they're doing their research, now we can do I call it an instant retargeting ad, where basically right when they hit your website, Facebook and Instagram are going to start showing them ads on that platform. And so it's like they do their research and then they get distracted, they go to social media, and then they see your ad pop up. And so that's going to increase conversions even more. So you're kind of just getting in front of them everywhere. So that's the best strategy if you can do that. But like I said, if you track your website visitors, if you have a website, so everybody write this down. When you get a website, or if you already have one, install a Meta Pixel. So it's Meta and then Pixel. And if you just Google that or watch a YouTube video, you'll see what I'm talking about. But this is just a little piece of code that you put on your website, and now you can track all your website visitors. And so even if you're not running ads right now, you're building up data so that when you want to run ads, you can just say like, hey, Facebook, I want to target everyone who's been to my website the past 6 months. And then bam, you can get in front of people really fast. Or you can say, hey, Facebook, I want to create an audience of people that are similar to the people who are coming to my website. I just want to reach more people, and it'll do that for you as well. So there's a lot of cool stuff you can do once you have the data. So now we've shown you the systems, we've shown you how to get leads on Facebook and Instagram. Now let's convert those leads. This is about your sales process. And by the way, guys, I think I'm getting close to that 60 minute mark. Hope this is helpful for you. Is it okay if I extend a little bit longer and teach a little bit more?
Absolutely.
All right, perfect. Um, I'm notorious for going a little bit over, so I apologize. I just like to teach. And it's just so much stuff to try to cover in 1 hour. But let's talk about your sales process. So when you get a lead, when you get somebody that's inquiring or somebody asking, the famous question, how much, how much, how much, how do you answer those people? Well, let's talk about it. So before we do that, I want to kind of lay down, let's take a step back. Big picture, there's going to be different phases of awareness. Not every person is ready to buy right now. And unfortunately, in marketing, what we see with new business owners is they're like, well, the person didn't buy right now. They must be in a bad lead, or they must have, not been my ideal client. Well, not necessarily. Maybe they're just still doing their research. And so there's different levels of awareness. The first step is getting attention. If you don't get somebody's attention, they're not aware of you at all. So the first step is making them actually aware. The second step is when they're doing their research, they're looking into it, they're looking at the details, they're trying to figure out, oh, what's included in that facial, or what type of facial would be best for me, or what service would be best for me. They're doing their research. Then they're probably going to get in contact with you, whether they're visiting your website, whether they're sending you a message, whether they're calling you. And then this is where this is where the sales comes into play, because you're nurturing them, you're asking them questions, you're qualifying them, you're building rapport with them, you're building that relationship with them. And then they book with you and hopefully turn into a repeat customer. And so that's kind of like the sales process 101. Now, why do most beauty businesses, up to 70%, or why do most beauty businesses lose about 70% of their potential clients? They're not following up. Follow up is key. And so the biggest thing with follow up, or actually, we'll go back to follow up. Tony, you teach a lot of sales to our clients. Give us a little tidbit on follow up.
So a lot of us follow up once, follow up twice, they didn't answer the phone, follow up 3 times and they said they're not interested, and they drop it there. Lead's not interested, just drop it. I will tell you 20 to 30% of our companies or of our business in our studio comes from people telling me I'm not interested. Why? Because a lot of times when they say they're not interested, they're at a t-ball game, they're on the couch with their spouse, they're in car line, they're at work. They're in a lot of areas where they cannot transact with you and talk to you. So human nature, they instantly say, I'm not interested when they really are. Because for like our clients, including myself, we get their name, email, phone number, and they have to check a box that says they opt into this stuff, right? So if you're going to do all four of those things and you tell me you're not interested, it's not that you're not interested, you're busy. They just don't know how to tell that to you. And for us as business owners, we get frustrated and we think, oh, this sucks. They're not interested. They're not this, they're not that. But once we were able to harness the fact that it's not that, it's not me, it's them, right? So when I started following up the not interested leads, our sales increased by 20 to 30%. Why? Because I caught them at a better time. Or because I sent them a message saying, hey, Maria, I know you're interested in getting your brows done last month, and I know you said you weren't interested. Was it just a bad time?
Hmm.
Think about that. Was it just a bad time? That's all I say. I don't have this long drawn thing that I'm a 5 times 20 FI artist, or I have all these accolades from ProCell and this and that. They don't give a shit about that. Excuse my language. They're human. So that's where you have to understand when you're working with internet leads, 90% of them are going to tell you they're not interested. It's not that they're not interested. It's just not the right time. So,
Yeah, I even had a client one time that was really good at sales and she was simply just talking to people, but she would show me screenshots where people would be like, "Oh, I accidentally clicked on your ad. I didn't mean to click on your ad." Where most business owners, honestly, most of our clients would probably be like, "Oh, sorry," or just not respond at all and just ignore that lead. She
mhm.
would actually just start a conversation with them like, "Oh yeah, the weather's been crazy lately, right?" Or just like start a conversation, and then the person would end up booking with her just because she was simply a human building a relationship. She treated them like a relationship and not a transaction. Too many of you are treating your potential customers like a transaction. And
Mhm.
so, yep.
That's it.
All right, response time equals revenue. Who here, like, I'm curious, post in the chat, and we only have a certain amount of people on, so you guys all need to participate. What is your typical response time to a lead? If you get a lead or a customer inquiring about your service, what is your typical response time? Within 24 hours, too long, same day, as soon as I see the message, ASAP. All right, well, this one thing then is going to change your lives then. So a many studies have shown this, and I've seen this myself. They compared the difference between a response time that was less than 1 minute, which if you guys are like, and then they compared it to a response time of 5 minutes. And most of you, I could probably guarantee that you're going to be like, wow, if I could just respond in 5 minutes, I would be on top of things. I would be an all-star. I would crush it. Maybe. But in every single study, it showed that the difference between a 5 minute response time and a 1 minute response time was the difference between about 10 bookings or 2 to 3. And so you're going to increase your conversion rate 70% by just replying within 1 minute. Now, that's between 1 minute and 5 minute. If you're taking 12 hours or 5 hours, what do you think that does to your conversion rate? So if you've been thinking like, oh well, that person was a bad lead, that person must have not been interested. No, it's just because you were too slow. People want answers now, and so it's about response time. So you're probably wondering, well, Jake, I don't have like I got kids. I'm doing a service. I'm running a business. I can't just stare at my phone all day. Totally valid. I agree with you. However, what if there was a solution where you can have an AI assistant respond immediately for you or within 5 to 10 seconds? And get in that 1 minute window and increase your conversion rates by hundreds of percents. Would that help your business at all? And would that help the quality of your life because you're saving yourself time and energy? So we're going to show you how that works. Before we do that, I'm going to do a quick exercise with you. Even though we're kind of running late on time, I love this exercise. When I do this exercise, or after I did this the first time, it reframed the way I thought about everything, especially with my day. And so we're talking about time right now. So put in the chat, what is the value of your time? And I'm not talking about while you're sleeping. I'm talking about like your work hours. What is the value of your time? Is it $100 an hour? Is it $50 an hour? Is it $500 an hour. What is the value of your time? Put it in the chat or write it down. And we're gonna do something. I think it's gonna be very mind blowing for you. So that was very specific. I like it. 110 to 135, $300 an hour. Priceless. There you go. And I'm gonna pull out my calculator while you guys are typing that. Okay. Now that you have what you consider the value of your time, I'm going to ask you a second question. When you're when you're managing your as a business owner, when you're managing your inbox, you're checking Instagram messages, you're checking Facebook messages, you're checking emails, you're checking text messages, you're doing all the stuff that requires you to communicate with your clients. How many hours per day on average is that taking you? And if you don't have many clients or many leads, then that's going to be a whole different problem. But I want to see how many hours all day. Yeah, that's facts. All right, I guess Maria's the only one that's going to put an answer. All right.
Can you repeat the question one more time? I'm sorry.
Yeah, so basically, how many hours per day on average do you spend, checking messages, checking emails, checking text messages, trying to keep up with like potential clients, trying to talk to clients, like all the communication you have to do as a business owner?
Or your employees, how many hours a day do they do it as an employee?
Yeah. Yeah, I would say on average when we ask this question, a lot of people say at least 3 hours. And so for easy math, let's go over some let's go over this. So I'm going to say, let's say your time is worth $100 an hour, and let's say you're spending 3 hours a day answering, going back and forth between Facebook inbox, Instagram inbox, email, text message. You're spending 3 hours per day. So how much time are you spending on that? That's about 90 hours per month. So we're just doing 3 hours a day times 30 days. That's 90 hours per month. And if your time is worth $100 an hour, what is that? That's $9,000. And I'm going to pull the slide up to give you guys a visual representation. If your time is worth $100 per hour and you're spending 90 hours a month, so 3 hours a day, that's $9,000 it's costing you to keep doing this. Now, if you're like iPhone and your time is worth $300 an hour, then that's going to triple. That means you're spending $27,000 of your time every single month. And I get it, guys. Even like I know that if you didn't do this stuff, you're not going to instantly have $27,000 in the bank account. That's not the point. The point is to start learning the value of your time and either delegating or finding tools to save you that time. Because what could you be doing? Let's say you had an extra, let's say we just cut that down to a third. So you spent 30 hours a month doing this stuff instead of 90. What could you do with those extra 2 hours per day? Maybe you could make more money, do another service, do the other things you have to do as a business owner, spend more time with your kids, spend more time with your spouse or loved one. Like there's so many other things you can do with that 2 hours a day. And that's what I'm trying to show you is like, one, guard your time and make sure you're not doing things that are not worth it. And two, it's time to start freeing up some time, and it's going to compound because what is 90 hours times 12, like a year, basically 12 months? You're talking about thousands of hours you're spending doing this stuff. And so let's try to save you some time. So how can you alleviate that? What about an AI booking assistant? Has anybody ever played with ChatGPT where you have a conversation back and forth with AI? Well, now you can have an assistant that sounds like you or better and knows your services. It can have a conversation back and forth. This is not automated messages. Like, this is not an instant reply. This is a conversation that it's going to have. So you can compare your options. You can keep doing the old way. You can hire a front desk person. You can hire an employee. How much does employee cost you? I know in California, you have to do, what is it, Maria? Like better than minimum wage or something, or uh, if they're full
If I get
time.
anyone to help me, I usually pay them $20 an hour.
Yeah, so if it's full time, you're talking maybe 40, 50K a year. Plus, you have to train them. Plus, what time do people like to work? 9 to 4, 9 to 5. When do most inquiries happen? When are most people going to see your ads? It's when they're laying in the recliner, or they're laying in bed, they're on their phone at 10 p.m. at night scrolling through, they see your ad. Is your employee going to be in at 10 p.m. at night? No. But you know what is? An AI booking bot. And so you like, to have that instant response time, you have to be 24/7. And so that's the new way, 24/7 automated booking, instant responses. You don't have to train them. Our team does it for you. It's a fraction of the cost, and it's perfect for beauty professionals because it's what we do and it's how we train it. Now, your business should run while you sleep. You shouldn't have to be staring at your phone. I'm going to show you an example of this. Here's one of our med spa bots. And just as a disclaimer, this is going to be instant replies because we sped up this video just so I can demo it. But typically with our AI booking bots, we have a tactical delay depending on how long the message is or how long the reply is. We usually have a tactical delay of about 10, 15 seconds, just so it feels like a real human. So they won't even know it's a bot most of the time. So we said, can you recommend something for me? It said, sure thing. What's your top skin concern at the moment? Um, Wrinkles. I understand. Have you ever tried any treatments for wrinkles before, or is this your first time, looking for a solution? And by the way, don't get caught up on if you like the verbiage or not. We train this thing to sound like you. So it'll analyze your conversations and know how you sound. And so if you're less formal than this, we'll make it less formal. One popular treatment for wrinkles is Botox. Are you familiar with it? Awesome. Botox can help you reduce wrinkles, give you smoother skin. Would you like to learn more? Now, this bot we recorded this about 2 months ago. We've since then improved it to now it would have already gotten the phone number. Like if you go to my Facebook after this, my Facebook profile, Tony actually made a video yesterday where we installed the bot on his wife's studio a few months ago, and it's been doing better than the virtual assistant he trained. And so back when we joined Money Making Esthetician, that's one of the things we told Maria was like, you need a VA, you need a virtual assistant. Well, yes, there's still some benefit to VAs, but this booking assistant has done better than Tony's VA virtual assistant. So it's pretty mind-blowing what this
Unfortunately,
stuff can do.
yeah, unfortunately, it's very true. I still pay my VA though. She does amazing during the day, but at night, I can't tell you, like, we missed out on probably 20 to 30% revenue because leads were going overnight that weren't getting attended to. That was my big reason why I wanted to implement this in my studio.
Yep. So here's one for aesthetics. So if someone just said, interesting, how long have you considered professional waxing? This is the way we start these, we have it to where I already assume something, but your bot would sound better than this. So basically what we're trying to show here is like it can sit here and even if people are doing short answers, even if people just ask how much, it knows how to talk just like Tony. Like we have scripts because Tony trains our people how to sell or trains our clients how to sell. And so it can sound just like that. So do you guys think this would be pretty cool to have in your business? That way you didn't have to monitor your inbox all the time on Facebook Messenger, on text message, on whatever platform. Awesome. I see a lot of yeses. Yeah, it can get their phone numbers. It can store the phone numbers in the CRM. Like anytime somebody gives you information, it stores it for you. That way you're not, let's say that you get all these leads and then your Instagram gets hacked. It doesn't matter because you've already got your leads stored on a system that we would provide. So, like I mentioned, Lisa was the one who I met at the Vegas PMU conference like a year and a half ago. She's the one that did 200K last year, but I've already shared her story. So let's put this all together. Are you guys enjoying this, by the way? I know I went a little bit over it. Are you guys having fun? I hope this helped. Perfect. So let's kind of recap what we talked about. And then at the end, here in a minute, I'm going to give you guys access to our free community. And I'm going to also give you access to my book. And so the three-step blueprint to getting fully booked, we talked about step one, you have to build a customer list. If you're not building your customer list right now, you're setting yourself up for failure. I made so much money from email marketing, text message marketing. You're going to get in front of more people like that and have all your data that you can actually control instead of relying on social media. Then step two is getting attention. And we talked about how organic isn't enough for that. You got to have ads. You got to get in front of people, and you got to get in front of the people searching for your service. Get in front of the right audience. We talked about Google Ads. So just to kind of stop sharing for a second, I'm going to give you guys. Maria said that I could invite you guys to If there's anyone here, this is not going to be for everybody, but if there's anyone here that's like, okay, I know I need to change. I love what Jake taught. I want to have some kind of system potentially like that in my business. I'm very interested. If anybody would like to apply to work with us, and the reason I use the word apply is because we do not accept everybody. We only want to help the people we know we can help because our reputation's on the line as always. Like we're in, we're the top advertiser in money making esthetician. So I'm not gonna work with somebody I don't think I can help because then they're gonna get mad and bash me on groups, and that's not what I like. And so I'm only gonna work with you if I think we can help you. But the way it's gonna work is if you want to apply to work with us, we'll actually drop a link here in a minute after I go over some of the options, and then you'll be able to go through a form. And if our AI decides that you are qualified based on the metrics we set, you'll get to book a call one-on-one with Tony so we can go over a strategy call for you. We can go over what you're currently doing, and then now that you've kind of seen what we do, we can see if we're a good fit. And so we'll kind of share some details of the options for that call. So number one, we love Google Ads. And this is in no particular order. Like I said, if your budget is limited, we'll probably get you to do Facebook and Instagram ads instead. But Google Ads are awesome. As you saw, there's a lot of people searching for facials, searching for esthetician services. And to be honest, guys, that was just Google Keyword Planner. We use an AI tool that gets much better data and much better keywords than that. And so we would do all that stuff for you. But Google Ads is a great option. Facebook and Instagram ads. This is something we've been doing since 2017. It's kind of our bread and butter, is what we're known for. And then we covered step 3, the sales process. So here's the thing, guys. You see, before doing this presentation, I was faced with 2 choices. And the first option was we could part ways right now. I could end the Zoom call and I could leave you out there this dark, cold. I say that in a funny way, but not really. You guys have seen that. You've seen the real world. It's not easy. I could leave you out there in that dark, cold market of the beauty industry, trying to grow your business alone. But I don't think that would be good. So the second option I was faced with is I could take a more active role in your success and actually hold your hand through the process, help you do a lot of the stuff you need help with, do your ads for you, and creating growth for both of us. And so I chose the second option. So what about you? Do you guys think I should leave you on your own? Or should we give you an opportunity to apply to work with us? So what I'm doing right now is dangerous. I'm standing here exposing all of our secrets. I'm giving you guys everything. But the reason I'm willing to do this is because I know in this industry, in the beauty industry, there are doers and there are dreamers. Some of you, unfortunately, just statistically and what I've seen, you're going to dream about success. You're going to be like, oh, yeah, that sounds great. Oh, yeah, I want to get booked up. Oh, yeah, I want to be successful. I want to set a good example for my kids. I want to be, I want to follow my dreams. But that's where it stops, and you're not going to ever do anything, unfortunately. That's just a simple fact. I see it all the time. It's the 80-20 rule. But some of you are action takers. And those are the people we are looking for on this call. That's why we do these webinars, because if you're willing to sit here for over an hour and listen to me talk, then you're probably pretty motivated to learn and grow. And that's, to me, that's the number one sign you're going to be successful, is if you love to learn. I've had some pretty good success and I still love to learn. I still invest in my education all the time. It's my favorite thing to do, is always learn new things. And so some of you here are action takers and some of you are waiters. What is a waiter? It's someone who's like, well, let me wait for the right time. Let me wait for the right opportunity. Let me wait for the leprechaun to drop the bucket of gold in my lap. Let me wait for everything. Bless you, Tony. He sneezed, but let me wait for the right time. And unfortunately, there's always going to be something. There's always going to be some kind of move coming up or some conflict coming up, or, something going on in your life, or your kids got this, or your spouse got this. There's always going to be some excuse for you not to start right now. And so if you keep living by those excuses, you're what we consider a waiter. So of those I can help you the most. I live and breathe the beauty industry. We come from the beauty industry. We've been doing it for 8 years. You guys are my people. And so what we're going to show you is the Beauty Growth Accelerator package. This is actually a package that I designed specifically for the Money Making Esthetician Facebook group, because I knew I was doing a webinar today and I wanted to hook you guys up with something, because Maria's been awesome and I absolutely love this group. And so we actually came up with a special package for you guys. So we're going to do Facebook and Instagram ads management for you. What this means is Our team is actually going to create and manage the ads for you. We're going to optimize them. You know, if anything's ever happening, we're right there on top of it. We're monitoring it. Yes, you can approve the ads. Yes, you can have your input if there's certain kind of pictures or designs that you like. Of course, we want you to love it. We want it to be your brand and everything, but our team does all the work. We will carry the load for you. Next is weekly group coaching. If you guys, who here feels kind of fired up right now? We're like, dang, I'm kind of motivated. I'm ready to crush it. Just watching this and being here, I'm like super inspired. Does anybody else feel like that? Yeah. So imagine this every single week. That's what our clients get. And just that momentum alone, like a lot of people sign up for our ad service, but when I talk to them, they're like, honestly, Jake, you know, the ads are great. It's great that I'm getting bookings, but I just love the weekly group coaching. It just gives me so much fire and momentum. And maybe my spouse doesn't understand entrepreneurship, or maybe my friends don't understand entrepreneurship. And so getting around other beauty entrepreneurs is just a breath of fresh air every single week. And so that's why people love our weekly group coaching. We also give you one-on-one coaching and support. Anytime you need help, anytime you're like, I just can't. There's been so many times where like, I got these leads, but I don't know what to say to them. Tony will get on a one-on-one call with you, and literally, I've seen where people are like, these leads are bad. They're not going to book. Tony gets on a Zoom call with her. This girl is actually out of Las Vegas, and he sits there and tells her what to say, and the person literally books on the Zoom call. So they book an appointment while they're on the Zoom call. So it's pretty crazy. So we do one-on-one coaching like that. Plus, as a bonus, anyone who books a call today to apply to work with us, if you decide to sign up, we're going to throw in the AI booking bot for free. And so that's crazy because that we typically charge about $1,500 for that. But today only, or who, if when you're watching this, we will be giving the AI booking bot free for those of you who book through the link we share. Now, before we go into the beauty growth community, I want to um, drop the link. So not to make this confusing because Maria is the owner of the Facebook group, but I have a different Maria who's my assistant. I'm going to have her drop the link to apply to work with us. Okay, she just Maria, make sure you put it on the Facebook group as well. And so she just dropped the link. I will show you guys what this looks like. So it's 30-minute growth session. The cool thing is, guys, even if you decide not to work with us, which we want action takers, but if for some reason you decide not to work with us, still meeting with us, I think helps because we're going to look at what you're doing. We'll give you recommendations. We'll give you helpful advice. Um, my disclaimer is if you're not ready to take action right now, if you're not ready to grow your business, if you're not ready to do that kind of stuff, don't book a call with us. We have lots of free YouTube videos. We have a free community. We have free helpful advice. And so this is not a free helpful advice session. This is a let's look and see how we can help you session. But going back to this, so let's see. Like I said, we've had a lot of people pay us a lot of money for this information, but with the package we're going to be giving you guys, it's going to be a fraction of this cost. And so don't worry about the prices on here. I wouldn't ask you to invest in yourself if I didn't invest in myself. This is a mastermind I recently joined to learn from the best marketers in the world. I pay $30,000 a year to be in that. And in fact, I actually, from the guy that was in the picture right here on the right, Jason, he actually is one of the smartest. He's the smartest dude I've ever met. He's trained a lot of the best
I
marketers.
was.
He's trained a lot of the best marketers in the world, and I'm actually learning from him directly now. This is a text message he sent me 10 days ago where he said, hey, here's the link to the deposit for my webinar coaching program. It's 2K right now, and then the remaining 10K I'll take via wire. And so I just signed up for his $12,000 coaching program. So I'm all about investing in myself because, like I said, to me, learning is the best way to grow. If you stop learning, you're going to stop growing. So, why are we offering these exclusive bonuses to 20 of you? Well, actually, sorry, let me go back. What bonuses could we be offering? So, to be honest, guys, we're going to customize the package to you. If we don't think you need something, we might not necessarily bring it up. But here's some of the options. Our CRM platform, like I told you, it's called BeautyBiz AI. It's where you can keep all your and this does not replace your booking system. You can still keep your Square, your Acuity, your Vagaro. So we're not trying to replace your current system. We're trying to help you. So this is going to be your marketing system where you can do text message marketing, email marketing. You can get the AI booking assistant. I run all my businesses through this, and it doesn't have to be hard. Number two, anyone who books a call and signs up with us is going to get a VIP ticket to one of our in-person events. This is something we'd never do. I hope our current clients are not on here right now, but this is something we never do. But I want to help you guys out. I love the Money Making Esthetician group, and I love meeting people in person. You know, this was one of our events on the screen that we did where it was here in Destin, Florida at the beach. We did pontoon boat ride. We did 2 days of learning. And just to show you the kind of guys we are, every single person here, after they got to know us and see who we are, they all signed up for a lifetime package. And so they all want to work with us for life because we're not here just for a short term. We're here, you know, to help you guys forever. So we've got Canva templates, we've got social media audits. And the thing is, guys, you and give yourself a shout out in the comments if you're gonna book a call. I want to see who the action takers are. But this is where you are right now. You're so close to the diamonds. You're so close to that gold mine. You're so close to where you want to be. It's just most of you just need that extra little tool. You need that tip, that help, that support, that guidance. You like I will literally come there and be successful for you if I could, but this is the best I can do. And it's worked great for a lot of others. And so I do think that you guys are right on the edge. You just got to push through that little bit especially if you're starting to get discouraged. So your 2025 success starts now. Awesome. So Misty's going to book a strategy call. iPhone 6 is going to book a strategy call. What is your name, iPhone 6? My assistant's laughing at me for going. All right, awesome. Bianca's gonna, yes, Bianca. Cool. So, this is Cherie. She actually, and by the way, guys, stick around because I'm about to give you access to our beauty growth community as promised in my book, in like 2 minutes. So, this is Cherie. She's been with us for about 7 months, and the cool thing is, she was in our coaching program for a while. She wasn't running ads, and then she started running ads. And literally on day one, she booked 2 hair coloring appointments and a haircut just from the one ad. And then the day she wrote this, she had 3 people from her Google ad. She was actually on our meeting last night. Tony, do you remember how much bookings or whatever she said?
She's up to 10 now. She booked 2 while on the call last night, but she
Well,
did
yeah,
10
she
this
says
past month.
17 people right here from Google.
No, I'm saying the past week. Like
Okay,
last week, she did 10.
awesome. So common questions I get, I've already covered this multiple times, but budgets for ads, and we'll give you more guidance on this on the strategy call. But basically, you know, you can start at $5 a day, $10 a day. We'll just see what your goal is and kind of help you, you know, and we'll help you mold a budget from that. Um, what if what if I need to wait to start, but I want it in this price? Not necessarily applicable because I haven't told you a price. Sorry, this is a slide from another presentation. But basically, if you're not wanting to start right now, like I said, get in contact with us, follow us, go to our YouTube channel, all that stuff. Add me on Facebook. I post a lot of stuff on Facebook. But if you're not ready to start right now, don't book a call with us. And then what if you're already a client? Then we love to work with you. Or we love working with you. If you saw a bonus that you like here, just hit us up and we'll work something out with you. Can I do month to month? So we have different options. We also have Klarna and Affirm financing. And so if you're the type of person who likes to finance stuff, like I know Tony finances fishing stuff all the time, so his wife doesn't see it.
Right.
We do have, you know, really great what are the lowest financing options, Tony? Is it normally like $60 a month?
$69 a month, actually, exactly.
Okay, awesome. So, Beauty Growth Community, I want you guys all in here. This is our free group. It's not on Facebook. It's on the school app, which looks like that, school. But I want you guys to join this. We're going to be dropping a ton. We already have a lot of helpful courses in here. We're going to be doing even more exclusive content for this group over the next few months, but pretty soon, like we're going to have a lot of stuff on there. So I think we already have 400 or 500 people on here, but I'd love for you guys to be early access members to this for completely free. So Maria, can you drop a link to the school group so they can go join for free? And on there, because I promised you my book, I believe in the classroom section we have my book, Growing Your Beauty Business, and then we have my new book, which is How to Rank Your Google Business #1, the Google Business Profile Guide. And so I just launched that like a few weeks ago, so you guys will be the first to be able to utilize those strategies. So Maria just put a link on here to join our community, and then once you save that link or once you go to our community, let me know in the chat that you're taking action. Sweet. So what I got, Maria, do I have any time for Q&A? Have I already gone way too over?
No, go for it.
Okay, I'll take Q&A questions for 5 minutes or so, and then that'll give people time to join our community or book a call if they want with us. And then we can also answer any questions. And let me pull up the Facebook chat as well so I can see those comments. Let's see. Sweet. And thank you guys for joining. We had a ton of fun. Like I said, I'm still going to answer some questions, but if you have to log off now, I get it. I appreciate you watching. I hope you enjoyed it, and feel free to add me on Facebook. That's where I'm most active. I'll show you guys my profile, and I'll go comment on the Facebook video on here too as well after this. But that's not the right one. Let's see. Oh, here it is. All right, so this is my Facebook profile. It's facebook.com/official Jake Randolph. That's my profile picture. And you see my beautiful wife and toddler who has a lot of energy right now. um, but yeah, we post stuff all the time. Like this is, if you actually go to my Facebook profile, you'll see the video where Tony actually shows his bot and talks about how many bookings it's got and all kinds of stuff. So that's a good video to watch as well. All right, what question do you guys have? Awesome. Misty just signed up for our free community on school. Perfect. Awesome. Vicky's interested in our program. I'm just now getting on the Facebook chat. Cool. Well, if we have awesome. Courtney just signed up for the school community. Love it. Yeah, me and Tony are actually meeting in Phoenix in a couple weeks. We're gonna film we got a lot of content lined up. We're gonna film just for that community, so it's gonna be pretty good.
Is there any piece of advice if people who are like, I just don't have the money yet, but I want to and I'm going to work towards it? Is there any advice you would give them to just get started? Because obviously, like some people don't have a budget, especially for brand new SDs or student SDs. What actions can they apply to start working towards the goal to be able to jump on the program?
Go to their Instagram and DM every single one of their followers, and then go to their competitors' Instagram and DM every single one of their followers. Go to Facebook groups and either coordinate with the admin so that they can post, and then just post helpful content in Facebook groups to start building connections. That's where we see that's the most like boots on the ground way of doing it. Do you have any tips, Tony?
Um, this may be controversial, but I'm going to go ahead and say it because, in my opinion, business has no feelings. That is my opinion. There are no feelings in business. Business is business. If I was just starting out and I had zero budget, the hardest thing we try to figure out is how do I find clients, right? Well, guess what? Every one of your competitors has an Instagram account, right? Every one of your competitors has followers, right? Why would they be following your competitor if they're not interested in your services? So take the time and DM your competitor's followers. And you're not going to say, hey, I noticed you follow so and so. Would you follow me? No. You're going to say, hey, thank you so much for not scratch that. Hey, Jake, I noticed you're interested in aesthetics. Have you had a facial done before? Question mark. Hey, Susie, I noticed you follow such and such permanent makeup. Have you had your brows done before? Stuff like that. You're not even going to mention that you see that they're following Susie Q's studio. But the more connections you have, the more conversations you have, the more people you're going to be able to sell. So there you go.
Yeah, I mean, just reach out to people and say, "Hey, um, I'm a new esthetician and I'm trying to grow my portfolio, or excuse me, I'm trying to grow, um, you know, get some great case studies for skincare, and so I'm taking 10 new clients for I'm trying to think what I would call it, like a customer, like a VIP customer success group, or I'll come up with a better name later and let you guys know. But basically, you're trying to make an exclusive. I'm taking 10 people. They're going to get a discounted rate for this facial. In exchange, you're going to give me social media content. Like we're going to just take a photo, like before and after, a video, and then if you enjoy my services, leave me a review. And so that way the person's like, okay, instead of just them offering me a discount, which just cheapens your service, it's like I understand why they're offering me a discount because they want me to they want to have more pictures and they want to build their reviews and referrals. So I understand, like it makes sense because we're kind of providing value for value there.
For sure.
And then once you get those 10 customers in, treat them like the best thing ever. Treat them like royalty. Um, they'll turn into repeat customers and then have a referral program where you give, gift cards or referral cards and ask them like, who are three other people that you could, I'm a new business owner. Who are three other people you could send my way?
Mhm.
And then you'll quickly build up clientele like that. And then once you start getting the budget, you just start running paid ads and it kind of just blows up.
Yep.
Tony,
Yep.
how long did it with your brand new with your wife's brand new location last year and a brand new social media account, like they only have like 100 followers on Instagram right now. How long did it take you to get to 8 to 10K months?
90 days.
Yeah. And so a lot of people on Facebook groups say like, "Oh yeah, it takes you years to grow your clientele. It takes you years to make money." No, Tony did it in 90 days. Now, did, does he have an unfair advantage a little bit just because he knows how we already grow clients? Sure, but we literally give you guys the same exact sauce on classes like this on our free community on our YouTube channel. And so if you're willing to put in the effort to learn this stuff and just reach out to people and build those relationships, yeah, it's going to be tough for a couple months, but right when you start to get some budget to run out. And by the way, guys, um if I don't understand, like I guess, well, I'm trying to figure out how to say this nicely. Like, figure out how to get an ad budget. Like, if you have the budget for anything else, like,
Well, here, let me back up. Let me back up because I can say it's come because I'm also if you could find the budget to spend $4,000 on a pro cell machine, if you could find the budget to spend $5,000 on some other service or product, or spend thousands of dollars on your back bar, you can find the budget for an ad. You just don't see the value in it enough, right? As practitioners, we focus on the machines, the equipment, the back bar, the glam of it all. We don't want to focus on actually how to grow our business. And I'll be honest with you, like Jake said, like, yes, my wife has a completely unfair advantage because she has someone like me that is just totally business minded and wants to kill it and grow. The fact of the matter is, you all have the same person if you join our coaching. So,
yeah.
alrighty. Shoot.
Awesome. Thank you, Maria, for having us. Appreciate it. We always love your group, and we always love when we come on here and help.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. Sorry.
Get better.
Yeah, feel better soon.
All right, the replay is already up in the group and it will be on our YouTube. Thank you guys.
You
Bye.
gotta stop smoking.
I know. You're back.
All right, see you.